it's just kind of felt a bit meh for me.
And the curator's out saying he's in a state of shock about the pitch. This sort of like national crisis that he'd put too much grass on the pitch.
Did you see Ben Duckett on the pitch when someone asked him if he wanted a beer? He was down
really?
at fine
I didn't
legs.
see that,
Someone
no.
in the crowd asked him and he just turned around and he's like...
I don't want it to be 3-2 now because I want you to... I can't imagine you without cricket in your life.
Like, how have you gone from, oh, this looks really difficult for the batter, to then next innings go, let's go back to what we did in games 1, 2 and 3?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's, as a fan, that's my frustration. Like,
Hello and welcome to Tailenders.
Thank you for having us on Tailenders.
Yes, Jim, how did it feel to be me?
Fine.
It also feels fine to be Greg James. This is the first ever Tailenders that Greg James hasn't been presenting on, correct, Sharky? So, hello, Greg, on holiday. My replacement is Kate Cross over there. How you doing, Kate?
yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm all good.
Feeling good to be on Tailenders?
Yeah, a bit. I feel like I'm cheating a little bit, actually.
Why?
Well, I've not done my episode this week of my podcast, so to be
Yeah.
here doing yours
Well, let's call this a No Balls Tailenders crossover
with everyone missing.
experimental podcast
Yeah, okay.
with the most important ones.
Yeah.
But don't save anything for your podcast. Make sure you get it all out.
No, I'm going to be quite on the fence on this one, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Greg's not here. So if you watch on YouTube and you're here for the cricket-specific stuff, the equivalent of Greg not being on Tailenders is like Australia being without Cummins, Lyon, Hazelwood and Smith and still winning the Ashes in 11 days. So that's just to give you a rough idea.
So you're saying you don't need Greg?
Well, we'll find out, won't we, in the next hour. Jimmy, what do you feel like?
Well, yeah, I mean, they won the Ashes 3-0 without those guys, so
Yeah.
I feel quite confident that we could do an episode without him.
How do you feel about it all, Jim? Because I'm confused. I feel sort of... I woke up and we won that test and I felt... I mean, there's obviously reasons for this because I said I will never watch cricket again if it ends 3-2. But I felt a little bit angry
About what?
that we won the test.
From where was the anger coming from?
I think it might be projections not to do with cricket, but I felt like I knew this was going to happen, but they were going to show up when the
Yeah.
series was done. Obviously, it was a shootout on a pitch where anything could have happened. But did you have that sense of anger? Because you're watching the Ashes in Australia for the first time as a fan. Did you have a similar sense of ire as I did?
First time as a fan since I was a kid.
Correct.
Yeah. I don't think I had anger. I think
Sadness.
there was some frustration there because England, performed. I know the pitch was dodgy, but they bowled miles better than they have done all series. I wouldn't say they batted better than they have done all series, but they did enough to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
So there was an element of frustration there, but I also think that knowing how many fans travel out there, they won't care. They won't care about it being a 2-day test. All they care about is going to the pub that night with an England win in Australia.
Cheers.
They've seen an England win in Australia. Not just the win in Australia, the Boxing Day test, which is one of the most iconic sporting events
Yeah.
in the world. So I felt happy for them. I also felt really happy for Ben Stokes and Joe Roux
Mm-hmm.
because seeing them hug at the end of the game, they've played 18 tests, I think, in Australia, and that's their first win. And I don't think it would have sat well with me that, for someone or two players that have done so much for English cricket that they would never have won a game there.
Yeah.
So I think for them to get that monkey off the back is good as well.
Kate, more broadly, how's it all been for you? Because obviously we haven't heard from you on this Ashes. Tell us what's your feeling about the whole thing? Are you sort of glazed with a sense of disappointment? Have you enjoyed periods of cricket?
No, I've not enjoyed any of it. I actually don't think I have. I've not been angry about it, but when I woke up and saw that we'd won the other day, so I get a running commentary from Hartley that I wake up to, so I read that first. It's quite funny because she'll be like, Bryden Carty's batting 3. And so I get a bit of a spoiler before I go on.
Sorry, she's texting you?
Yeah. Just
while
as
she's commentating?
Yeah. Well, I don't know whether she's actually on air. Probably shouldn't throw her in like that, but she probably is, let's be honest. So I kind of read the spoilers from Al and then I'll go on the scorecard. And she was just like, oh my God, look at the scorecard after the game the other day.
Yeah.
And I was just expecting us to have lost.
Yeah.
But then I also wasn't surprised when we've won. So I kind of feel like I've woke up every morning looked at the scorecard and had the same feeling of, I'm not surprised by this scorecard. So that's been my general overall feeling. There's just, it's just kind of felt a bit meh for me.
I'd have to agree with that.
Yeah.
Like, I've not walked, whether you've stayed up and watched it, which we have quite a bit, or whether you wake up and watch the end of a day's play, or you watch the highlights, you're like, it's not been like, there's not been a lot of quality in the series.
Yeah.
There's not been like loads of great batting, loads of great bowling, some great innings. No one got 50 in this game. And I know a lot of people are saying it's the pitch, but I mean, it wasn't a great pitch. It was doing loads. But, there's it's the job of the batter to,
Do you know what I find interesting about the pitch chat? Is that when you'll have bowled on however many pitches where it's been like 500 plays, 500, and no one talks about how difficult it is for the bowlers on those pitches. And then it's been a difficult pitch for the batters. And obviously it's been marked down as pretty poor.
Yeah.
But like there's been no chat around
how flat it is.
The other way round. And when there is that really flat pitch and it's really hard to take wickets, no one says it's a disappointing pitch or anything.
Yeah. Have you bowled on many pitches with 10 millimetres of grass on it, Kate, before?
I reckon I have, back in my Hayward days, yeah.
What, back in club days?
Yeah, club cricket.
And would it just give us an example of that? Would the ball jag?
Yeah.
Off a lot of grass, obviously, at any level.
Yeah.
But 10 mil's not a lot.
How much is 10? 10 mil's like?
I don't know.
That's not 10 mils.
10 mil's like that?
It's not a lot. But it does. So, like in county cricket, I've played on pitches that have got 18 mils on or 14 mils.
Right.
Like it's just, it depends on the ground. Some grass is slightly different. This looked very thatchy and thick. Other places you play, it's a little bit thinner. It's not as thick a consistency. It gets rolled in, and no one really bats an eyelid.
Right.
And I don't know why this went around a lot, and it did. Like the numbers are quite big. The amount of seam movement there was.
It's unexpected, isn't it? Like you go to the MCG and you expect it to be a 5-day test and a lot of runs scored.
Yeah.
And then, but like you think you play at Lords, you expect that kind of movement, and batters adjust to that and are prepared for that, and they talk a lot about that in the build up to it and the slope and etc. But I think it's because it was so unexpected. I mean, so much so the groundsman came out and did an interview the next day. That's been my highlight of the Ashes.
I know. And he said he was in a state of shock which was interesting synergy because it was almost exactly the same as the first test. And Ben Stokes, very reactionary, just said immediately he was shell-shocked about what had happened. Fast forward a month and the curator's out saying he's in a state of shock about the pitch. This sort of like national crisis that he'd put too much grass on the pitch. It's an interesting point though, because he was talking about days 3 and 4, and we're culturally getting to a point where our curator's going to even prepare pitches for days 3 and 4 anymore, because quite often batters aren't getting through those tough periods to even get to that period. Like, are we going to change culturally how these pitches get prepared?
Do you think it was something to do with the weather? Because it's been so different, hasn't it? It was cold on day 1, and then he was preparing that pitch because it was going to be really hot on day 3. So that's why he did it. But I don't know whether it's just because Melbourne is so unpredictable with its weather. Like at Perth, they know what they're going to get, so they know how to prep those pitches.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a curator.
Jim, what do you think?
I don't know, but whatever he did, he got it wrong.
He got it really wrong.
You can't prepare a pitch thinking day 3 and 4 the weather's looking hot, so I'm gonna try and get it to flatten out. You want a fair pitch day 1 and 2. I think there should be some seam movement there. I think that's what we expect from a test pitch. The first morning, a little bit of seam movement, and gradually gets better, and then potentially deteriorates day 4 and 5. That's how I see a test wicket. But I don't like. They're coming out and doing an interview. Why?
I loved it.
But it's like I saw another title for him, like the head of turf and soil or something. Head manager of turf and soil. I mean,
this is the thing, though, right? We've watched so little cricket, and the people we've heard from are the head of turf and soil, Jeetan Patel, and Marcus Roscovic. This is this sense of disorientation about this series, and we haven't heard from anyone who's played so little of the actual cricket. I've seen a video of Ben Duckett's feet, with someone saying you need to get an Uber to the nets. That's about as much I've heard from the England team. Apart from, you're right, I'm happy that Joe Root and Ben Stokes have won a test, but then they're suddenly coming out saying we've had a lot of stuff thrown at us and we're happy to have won. You've lost the Ashes in 11 days. What do they want? Do they want people to be saying... Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you expect? And I think that's the weird thing about this series is that I feel like this winter we've developed this sort of us and them thing that sort of accidentally happened between... I'm sure the people out there, like you talk to 20,000 people, are going mental, but from watching the fight, there's this kind of a disconnect that's sort of almost because it's no one's fault, but it's, do you know what I mean? It's happened between us and the team. This sort of
I think
philosophical...
the disconnect is the time difference. 100% is playing a part in that.
Yeah,
because the times that the tests are starting at, it's 11:30 or midnight. So people are staying up for that first session.
Mm-hmm.
So we stayed up for the first session on Boxing Day. It was, I think, 70 for 4, and then wake up at whatever time in the morning and 20 wickets are falling.
Yeah,
you know,
and you can't...
And then the same day two, day two. So, you know, you watch the morning session, wake up, game's finished.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't get that connect with the game, the players.
So
there's
true.
nothing there.
So true.
That's the problem being here. That's why the Barmy Army down there, 20,000 English fans down in Australia watching every ball.
Yeah,
a little bit more invested than we are,
and we feel a bit robbed by the experience.
Robbed.
We was robbed. Let's talk about some positive things though. Josh Tongue. Kate, we'll hear from you in a second, but Jimmy talked before the series about that's going to be the threat. Josh, in Australia, you thought he should have played all the tests, and we did a tour and you were saying like he's the guy that will cause problems in Australia. That's sort of proven to be the case, really.
Yeah, so we did a sort of theatre tour before the Ashes started. It was in October, and I was picking my squad, and I thought Tongue should start because he's got that point of difference, like he's got pace. Maybe not necessarily got control all the time, but he bowls wicket-taking balls, and he's got an awkward angle that he bowls from. And the other one that I mentioned in that squad that I picked was Rayan Ahmed, who now doesn't look so silly.
Yeah.
When I got laughed at when I said Rayan Ahmed.
The whole theatres all across the country laughing at you.
If you're batting Will Jacks at 8 to bowl spin, why not play Rayan Ahmed in that?
Yeah.
Someone who's scored a man to the runs in county cricket, bowls leg spin, which is a bit different to anything else we've got.
Yeah.
But I was really happy for Josh. I thought he bowled really well. One thing that the England bowlers did really well in that Test match was like it's very easy to say the wicket was doing all sorts, but you've still got to be able to hit your areas, and they found that fuller length quite consistently, and I thought they did really well.
You a fan of Josh, Kate?
Love Josh Tongue. I remember, was it the 2023 Ashes when he got Warner out at Lords? That ball that he got that came back into him, and I was like, like Jimmy said, he bowls wicket-taking balls, but I think obviously when you've got Bryden, who's just been out of form this series, you kind of can't have too many bowlers like Josh in the team because you can't have people leaking runs, and also you need well, but I think Ben's actually bowled pretty well, but you need someone to be able to hold and end up. But yeah, I think Josh is pretty special. I'm gutted for him that he's not played more of it, but obviously it's if he can stay fit now. That's been the thing with the bowlers throughout it all. We've lost a bowler every single game, so
yeah. Has he suffered from that a little bit, that we've committed to Cars and Bryden hasn't bowled the areas we'd have expected him to, so they probably thought consistency-wise, like you just said.
To be fair, Bryden I thought bowled really well through the summer. He was one of our pick of the bowlers in the India series. So I think, he was second choice, obviously, going into it, but I think now he's done himself so many favours that he, should be one of the first names on the team sheet now moving forward. If he can keep himself fit as well, that's obviously going to be one of the main.
Can you think of many equivalents of bowlers that release points are just slightly above their head? Is it a weird angle to be picking the ball up from with Josh? Because it's sort of, he comes from, like, I don't know, perpendicular, but he just comes from a slightly weird angle, doesn't he?
You're looking at me like I bat a lot, but isn't Bumrah's quite, that's where he gets his angle from, isn't it? He's got that.
Yeah, I'd say Cummins is probably the most similar. Like, comes just the other side of, like, perpendicular.
Interesting, yeah.
And so you see Cummins, like, he's caused Joe Root loads of problems, and it's because he's got that angle in. He doesn't hit the stumps a lot, but it looks like he's going to hit the stumps because it feels like he is because the way he sort of that angle that it comes in at, and then just gets it to hold either way off the seam.
What I've noticed, what I have seen with the bowlers this series is that they've all been trying to create that angle. Like Gus Atkinson for me is really similar to Jofra, and Jofra notoriously like bowled next to the stumps and everything was just one line and dead simple. But then I noticed Gus has been coming a little bit wider of the crease in this series, and I don't know whether that's a plan or he's changed something, but it feels like he's trying to create that angle, which Josh gets naturally, so that's why he's obviously got that success and got that wicket-taking delivery in him.
Yeah. Have you been surprised, Kate, that they just haven't been able to bowl consistent areas? Because that's been the irritating thing from afar, is like watching them through the night and thinking, like, it's so easy for someone who doesn't play cricket to level you guys and think, why are you bowling short and wide? Because we have the opinion watching cricket that you're just choosing to not bowl in the right places. But sometimes it have felt like maybe Bryden's been asked to bowl sort of enforcery type areas where it just seems so obvious that you should be hitting the top of off stump. And this test, at least because of all that grass, you felt like it was just the only thing you can do is just try and hit top off stump, and you knew the ball would do the rest for you. Do you think there's like been a plan, or do you feel like they, I don't want to say underprepared, but has it surprised you?
Well, they have underprepared, haven't they? They've admitted that. They've underprepared.
Or overprepared, if anything.
Oh, yeah, true. I think it is frustrating.
Yeah.
But there's nothing worse than when you feel out of rhythm as a bowler.
Yeah.
And you can't hit the areas that you know you can hit consistently.
Right.
But I'd love to know, obviously we're never going to know, but I'd love to know what the conversations were from a bowler's point of view about how they were preparing for this series. Because if I had an injury or I had a series coming up, I would sit down and plan how I'm going to be ready for that first game. What my overs look like, how many games I'm going to have before that, what all my gym and everything looks like. So as a player, I know that I've kind of done everything to get myself where I think I would be ready. Whether I would be ready or not is obviously different because of your rhythm and things like that. But I kind of have a good idea of what I would need to get ready for a big series.
Yeah.
Have they done that? You would hope they have.
Yeah.
But then I would feel like if I've not had the game time as a bowler, I would want to make sure I've got the prep time. It's never the same because you can't emulate your nets. Like, but you're never going to bowl 20 overs in a net session, which you would do. I mean, poor Josh Dunn got a 5 for MCG on Boxing Day and then was bowling again that evening.
I know.
Like, he didn't even have time to enjoy his moment.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can't emulate that is what I'm trying to say. So I'd just love to know who they're sitting down and talking with about the plans and the prep. Obviously, no one means to bowl short and wide. That's not the plan. Maybe it was at Perth, not wide, but I feel like they got lulled into the pitch there, didn't they? They wanted to bowl quick and they wanted to bowl short. But yeah, knowing what they've done in this test, that's where the frustration sits, because you know that they can do it and they've just not done it for the first 3 games, and that's probably been the undoing.
What's your feeling on that, Jim?
Yeah, I think, again, the frustration from this game, we've said they bowled well, they got the length right and stuff, but it was also the plans for me. Like, Cars in Adelaide bowled round the wicket to head, trying to swing it back in, and then he'd try and get one to go away from him, but because it's such a hard skill to do, he was ended up bowling short and wide and getting cut quite a lot. This game, he came over the wicket. Yeah, to someone like Head, it's just, for me, it's a no-brainer. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't start over the wicket. And the first few test matches, we were bowling around the wicket a lot to him. When you've got guys that are really good at bowling at left-handers like Jofra, Gus, and Bryden, I just think it's a no-brainer. You can pitch the ball on the stumps, and when it's nipping, it's a bit easy to do, I guess, because it's going either way, and you're challenging both sides of the edge. But I couldn't get my head around the planning, like the tactical side of it for the first couple of games. And it just felt like, you know, we took whatever you wanted to say about preparation, but it looked like we were getting things right in the 4th test, which is obviously way too late.
But then on that point, Gus opened the bowling over the wicket to Head in this game, and then second innings he came round to him. On the bowling, like what? But he looked so troubled. So what are the conversations that are being had? Like, how have you gone from, oh, this looks really difficult for the batter, to then next innings go, let's go back to what we did in games 1, 2 and 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's, as a fan, that's my frustration. Like,
from a non-technical cricketing perspective, sometimes I feel like we talk about Bazball and the batting and like running towards a danger in terms of the batting all the time. But I always feel like as bowlers, they want to bowl wicket-taking deliveries all the time, and they're sort of drunk the Kool-Aid in the sense that no one wants to do that work and those yards where you just land the ball in the same place all the time. Like, do you know what I mean? When I watch this team, I don't feel like I'm watching your team, for example, Jim, where you'd bowl long periods, bowl dry.
It's nothing to do with bowling dry. Like I hate that saying. I've never thought about that in my life about bowling dry. The where you get wickets is by bowling wicket-taking balls or trying to bowl a wicket-taking ball every ball. Like that's my mindset.
Yeah.
And on some wickets, some pitches, it will take longer for those wickets to come, the wicket-taking balls to come. You've got to just try and hit the same area all the time with the odd bouncer and little thing. Your plans might change slightly if a batter gets in, but generally you're trying to hit that same area all the time, and then something will do. It will move, and on a wicket like this, that's exaggerated because they know that if they're there or thereabouts, it's gonna, it look like a wicket-taking ball every ball.
Yeah.
But on the wickets that we've seen before this, where those wicket-taking balls are maybe harder to come across, it's the stuff in between that really matters, and that's when you've got your pitch map's got to be like smaller.
Yeah.
It's like that
Bowling,
the old Brian Lara cricket, like when you've got that big circle. You want that circle to be like as small as possible, and group as much as you can in that area, so that and you're challenging them as much as possible.
Talking of which, Jim, looks like Gus can't play the 5th test, which would mean maybe Matt Potts is going to play. We'd suspect he would bowl those Brian Lara cricket areas.
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think. Potts and Fisher are the 2 bowlers in the squad, and I'd be gutted for Potts if he didn't get the chance. He's been in the squad from the start.
Yeah,
he's someone who works really hard. He could do really well in those conditions. I don't know what Sydney would expect after all the talk around this pitch that it's going to be flatter.
It's going to have to be flatter now, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's a workhorse. He'll do the hard yards. Kate was talking about holding up an end or what, that sort of role he can do because he's got a good engine on him. So I'd expect him to come in for Atkinson, and then you've got does Bashir play if it's going to be dry and flat? And that's another.
Where are you going, Kate? What's your team?
My prediction before the series started, I didn't say it very loud because everyone was saying England were going to win, but I predicted 4-1 and that Fish would play in the last test. So
wow,
I really want him to play, and I'd be the same. I'd feel for Potsy if he doesn't play, but for my own selfishness, I'd really like Matty Fish to play.
And why would you pick Fisher over Potts from a cricketing perspective?
Just from a prediction point. I really rate him as a bowler. I think he's been another one that's struggled with injuries. But he debuted a while ago, didn't he? But I really liked him when he plays, and I think he's had a good season with Surrey. But I love what he can. I think he is exactly what Jimmy was talking about. He can bowl in his little cardboard box and then has wicket-taking deliveries as well. So I think he's going to be an asset for England moving forward. I don't know about Bashir. I don't. You'd have to drop Jax, I guess, would you?
I feel like Jax has nailed down the specialist number 9 slot though. So
number 9,
he's batting 9 and not bowling. What's happening? But does Bash play? I think it's a bit late, isn't it, for Bash to play? I mean,
everything's a bit late, though, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the thing though. The problem for them now is if they pick Bash and he bowls well, then that's going to be a problem.
But you can't not pick him because of that. You can't just go, we think he might do well, so it'll look rubbish on us if he does. You can't. I think you should, from a management point of view, I think you should play him so that you've got an idea of what he can do in those. Like the whole plan has been him being ready for Australia.
Yeah.
Play him, see how he goes, and then hold your hands up if you get it wrong. They hold their hands up about the prep and about everything else. So
I just don't know what happens if he doesn't play. What happens to him?
Yeah.
Like. Everything was leading up to this point. He'd played 18 of the last 20 tests, I think, before this series.
No, Jeetan Patel said that we weren't really concentrating on this Ashes though. So.
But I think like what sort of message does that send to him if he's not going to play, and then does he then, going forward, what happens in the summer? And
I think that's why you play him. You've got to see how he goes, because what's the point in the whole of the last 3 years with him and the plan?
From my perspective, I would feel if he got thrown in now and bowled badly, then I feel like basically you're saying to the world that's the end of your international career. And it becomes a footnote of like all the 90s casualties that we picked for England for one test. I feel like you'd be putting so much undue pressure on him to bowl
But there's
well.
no pressure on him.
Well, yeah, maybe that's true.
They've not done well, and he can just
No
go and
one's
prove
done well.
himself.
Yeah. All right, so what's your attack then, Kate? Bash, Fisher.
Bash might as well open the batting at this rate,
Okay,
to be fair.
So Kate Cross is picking Bashir to bat 1, Matt Fisher to bat 2. And moving on, Jacob Bethell, is he batting 3 in your team?
Yeah, he can stay.
How do you think he batted? He batted beautifully, I thought, didn't he, second innings?
I didn't watch it, but from what I heard, it was good.
He looked very composed.
He looked composed was the word that I heard.
Yeah.
Calm, mature, another word. But everyone, they've put the pin in him, haven't they? They've said that he's going to be playing for England for a long time. So he's obviously got something. I've not seen it. I don't think anyone's actually seen it yet because he's not had the opportunities. But it does feel like he's this star kid that's going to do great things for England.
We touched on things happening too late.
Yeah.
I remember so he played that reverse scoop off, was it Boland or Nisa?
Yeah.
Round the wicket, round the wicket keeper up, and he's reverse flipped him over the slips. And I thought that's the Baz ball that everyone's been talking about. That's what we've been waiting to see.
Yeah.
In this first 3 games, but it's the 4th test and it's a little bit late.
What sort of future does he have for you, Jim Bethell? Do you think he's a number 3 batter in Test cricket, or do you think he'll eventually end up?
I think there's enough signs there that he's got a good enough technique to play and bat 3. But I don't think he's got that just yet. But he, especially under this regime, I think he's got the confidence, the temperament to be able to develop his game to becoming a good enough player. But I think he just definitely deserved to play in the next game.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him get a run of games actually, because he's been in and out a little bit. He played in New Zealand, got 96 a couple of years ago. So I think just give him a run. Yeah,
I think the interesting thing in terms of being opposite to Ollie Pope is that he stands very still and he has got much less movement, Ollie Pope. So just as a watching
static
experience, he just seems less. He's projecting much less anxiety than Ollie Pope is, and I think just from a perspective of watching England batter just make clear decisions, he looks like he's doing that, like he's got a very clear mind and stuff like that. So I enjoyed watching him bat. He high scored in the second innings. There's a lot of talk about him being thrown under the bus, and he's actually high scored in the second innings of the first test that England won in Australia for 15 years. So that's got to be credit for him.
If this series finishes 3-2, I know you want it 4-1 because you predicted it. And if it finishes 3-2, Zach Crawley said it would be a pretty decent tour, fairly positive. How would you feel about that?
That's what have we been doing our whole lives.
He's not wrong though, is he? Like 3-2 does look better than 5-0. So he's technically correct, but it's pointless because they've lost.
Yeah. Yes.
But for their dressing room, I can see them winning at Sydney now because they'll have a bit of confidence from the Melbourne game. You look like you've got tears in your eyes.
Yeah, I'm just worried about that.
Felix, how are you feeling about this possibility, the very real possibility it could be 3-2?
Yeah.
Can we just remind everyone what you said about that?
I'm sure Sharky will roll tape.
If a series ends
3-2, I'm never watching cricket again. Yeah, so as you watch that clip, I actually feel like I know as soon as those words come out of my mouth that it is ending 3-2. And your face after it, I think you know too. And I'm just working out now, because I know this England team are so annoying that they are definitely going to win that test. And they'll probably play the best cricket they've played for years. When they do that, I'm going to be juggling with my own anger that we discussed at the start of the show, but also what I'm going to do without cricket for a year. So my question firstly is to you, Kate. What would you do if you couldn't watch cricket ever again?
Is it ever again, or have you put a year timeline on it?
Ever again.
Ever again.
I've changed it to a year, but it is actually never again.
And did you specify whether it would be Test cricket? Because I think
No, I just said all cricket. Didn't I?
All
Did I say
cricket.
All cricket. Or even club cricket.
What do you do? I don't know what people do if they don't have cricket in their lives.
Do you think you would be happier?
No. I'd be really sad.
Oh, I think I would be
I think
sad.
I could cope.
Yeah? What are you going to do?
No, you wouldn't.
What does the rest of Jimmy Anderson's life look like without watching cricket?
I'd be playing it a lot.
But you couldn't watch it, so. And to be fair, you did lose sight of the ball after delivery point.
Yeah.
Have you got other hobbies that you
I
could
do,
take up?
I do.
That
I
you
do
could
play
really
guitar,
commit
but
to?
that has now been banned on the show thanks to the YouTube comments. So that's too.
I love how you said I do play guitar as a hobby.
Well, I'm very
Should
confused
you
about
count
what
your
I
job?
do. I could listen to TMS.
That
Okay,
doesn't,
listening.
that doesn't
Listen
feel
to it.
like that should be part of it.
No, I think listen.
You've committed to boycotting cricket.
No, I've committed to boycotting watching cricket. Sharky. Thank you very much, Sharky. He's, for the benefit tape, he's given me the thumbs up.
I'd love
so
it.
I could just listen to cricket.
I'd love it if they won 3-2 and they came out and didn't say that this was for Baz or for Stokes, but it was actually because of you. Like, this is their motivation now.
I'd feel sad because I said it out of love for them, in a way. But love and hate are very closely related, aren't they? What do you think is going to happen at Sydney, Jim? Do you think Wicket's going to be flat? And do you think we're going to win and end up 3-2?
I don't want it to be 3-2 now because I want you to. I can't imagine you without cricket in your life. Anyway,
You do look so sad. It's not even happened.
I think it'll be a decent wicket. I think it will be flat, especially after the issues at Melbourne. Sydney is generally quite a good wicket.
Yeah.
From the Ashes games I've played there. Spin usually plays a part, and Australia have got Todd Murphy in their squad. So I can see England winning, definitely. I think, Australia being, no Cummins, no Lyon, no Hazelwood. I can see England, they've got a great chance. They'll be confident after this week, as long as they've not gone back to Noosa and have got back on it.
That's technically won one since Noosa, though, so they've
won one since Noosa.
Yeah, they've got a better...
Let's hope they have gone to Noosa.
Yeah, eating is cheating.
Did you see Ben Duckett on the pitch when someone asked him if he wanted a beer? He was down
really?
at fine
I didn't
legs.
see that,
Someone
no.
in the crowd asked him and he just turned around and he's like...
But do you know what? It's probably the feel that he needed, Ben Duckett, didn't he? Because it's almost like his mind was probably so much not thinking about technical cricket things that probably just freed him up a little bit in that second innings. Because you must be thinking so much about, don't play outside here. But that probably was helpful in some way to him to be that distracted. And it feels like he needs that engine to be gnarly about something in order, Ben Duckett needs to feel like the world is against him in order to score runs.
A bit Johnny Bairstow.
I feel like a little bit he has that energy, but we'll see.
We needed to find that before the start of the series.
Okay, it gives me great pleasure to say there has actually been a revolt, and it was a revolt on the BBC channels, but Matching Tendulkar has not been in vision enough. So he's just been sat in hair and makeup, and now, stage left.
Hello!
Hello, King of the Sea, Matching Tendulkar.
Can I just say, when I was sat in hair and makeup,
Please do.
Makeup artist Catherine informed me that next year, 2026, big noses are going to be in fashion. She said that with great confidence.
Year of the nose.
And she said it.
We're going to be fine.
And she said it.
We're going to be popular.
Okay, she said it as she was painting his nose.
She was like, there's not enough makeup for this nose.
Okay, that's good. So you got a big year
Yeah,
ahead
I'm
of you
really
next year.
excited. So for all you big nose YouTube viewers,
Yeah.
it's going to be a great year. Year of the nose.
So if
We're
anyone,
back.
so he is envisioned to show off said nose.
You get close up on that beauty?
There we go. Can we get a little tight? Does that, you get a nose agent maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Agent, if there's any nose agents out there.
Do you enjoy the cricket, mate?
Love the cricket.
Did you?
Well, I just enjoyed. I know everyone's slagging off the cricket, slagging off England,
yeah.
but I just quite enjoyed the kind of. It feels Christmassy when the Ashes is on in Australia. I like staying up with you guys.
Yeah.
On the WhatsApp messages.
Yep. What would you do, Matching, if you could never watch cricket again?
Oh, well, I'd be screwed because I like doing this.
Yeah. Well, that's my issue at the moment.
But he's been there 7 years.
Yeah,
7 years
8
ago.
years ago,
he
I
didn't
never
know.
watched cricket.
I never watched cricket at all.
Probably go back
Now
to
I'm informed.
Probably go back to shoes.
but just do more of those now. Talking about being informed.
Yes.
I've got some pearls for you.
Brilliant. Come on.
Basically, what we've been doing. For people that aren't
Why in my head is he
cricket,
taking Kate to the other side of the room to be like, whispering it, God.
people that aren't into cricket, I've been coming up with some interesting facts, interesting takes on. So if you're joining it late, you're at the pub and everyone's talking Ashes stuff and you don't know that much about it, I've got some interesting takes that you can drop in.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it looks like you know what we're talking about, which is basically my role on the podcast.
Yeah.
And it's even more informative this time because for old school listeners, I've had Handsome Chris staying with me for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Who
do we do a backstory of Handsome Chris?
He's a handsome guy that knows a lot about cricket.
Yeah.
Actually, folklore. Should we talk about that?
Yeah.
I think we should bring that up.
He actually went on a date with Alex Hartley once upon a time.
Yeah. They met at Manchester. Do you remember when we came on
for the show
at the Apollo?
Yeah, I do. They met there.
Well, he saw her on stage and then asked Matt for her number and they went on a date.
They went on a date, didn't work out. But that could have been a whole
She said he was too smart for her. He talked about things she didn't know how to talk about. Maybe you do an episode of how to go out with
Handsome Chris.
Handsome Chris. Yeah, that's actually really good.
He has been informing me. I've been watching a lot of the Ashes with him. So some of this, to be honest, I have been picking up on some bits.
Okay.
So this is what I was thinking, right? Basically, I don't know what you guys think, right? Yeah. But the best wicketkeeper, irrespective of all other considerations, should always be selected. Am I right?
and we answer the.
Am I meant to answer that?
Okay, cool.
What do you think? I think basically Ben Foakes should have been picked. The best wicketkeeper should always, no matter if you're a bit better with the bat, but you're not that, not that great. How do you guys feel as bowlers? You want someone that can stand up.
This is what I call the Jack Russell, Alex Stewart conundrum.
Yeah.
Please answer the question, Kate.
I think I probably agree.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I can see why people have gone away from that now.
Why?
Because I don't think you probably need to be. Well, Alex Carey's probably going to prove this wrong.
Exactly.
Because he can stand up to seamers, but I don't think in the men's game you actually technically need someone to stand up to the stumps as much.
Don't you think Alex Carey proved that he's a weapon by standing up that close?
Yeah.
And he's made dibbly dobblers look world class. Yeah. Because he's not allowed England batters to be have as much freedom because he's standing right up close.
Yeah, I would absolutely.
And if you had Ben Foakes there, that would have happened.
He'd be standing right up close too.
He's standing close.
Would he know? I don't know if he would have been.
What do you think, Jimmy?
Yeah, as a bowler, you obviously want the best wicketkeeper because you want some. If you get an edge, you want it to be taken. Standing up's irrelevant for me. They should be able to do it. If you're a wicketkeeper in a test match or international cricket, you should be able to stand up to the stumps.
But they're not always, are they?
Yeah, but England's bowlers bowl 10 mile an hour quicker. It's a lot harder.
I've got a good analogy for you, actually. Wicket keepers are like drummers. The best wicket keepers are like drummers, but you don't necessarily notice them. If you notice them doing too much, then they're normally doing something wrong. But they are always the engine and the character of the team. And the other thing I would say is they're lone wolves. So the only people that do their jobs. Yeah. So I always think of a wicketkeeper like a drummer, and a cricket team is only as good as their wicketkeeper, like a band is only as good as their drummer.
So shouldn't you pick the best wicketkeeper? So Ben Foakes, for example, you always pick the very best there is.
Do bands just pick the best drummer?
That's a fantastic question, Jimmy, and thank you for asking it. I think the answer to that would be no.
Does it matter how far or how close the drummer stands?
That's such a good question. I'll tell you the thing with drummers is the more attention they want, they won't stand up to stumps, they'll just get higher and higher rises. So I would say that what Alex Carey's done this series is the equivalent of a rock band going up the academies, arenas and getting a very high riser so everyone can see them.
Back to cricket.
Right.
Don't you think in a post-Gilchrist era, based on Alex Carey's performance, we should always, moving forward, only pick the very, 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 very best wicketkeeper. That should just be it.
Well, I think it's an interesting question because the temptation after Ashes that we lose is that we'll revert to the exact opposite of what we've just done. So that might be the impulse culturally, but we'll go back to a Ben Foakes type character. Come on.
Okay. I don't know about you, right?
Yeah.
But test selection should be based on first-class cricket experience and not based on vibes and TikTok clips.
Okay.
Do you know much about?
Okay, so what you're saying, inferring there, is that Bashir was picked on a Twitter clip, I think, that Ben Stokes saw, and the England batting like sort of short memory span type.
Yeah, we should be
way
looking
we've
at
gone
more.
about it.
We should be mining test players from the county championship.
Okay, Kate Cross, I'd love to hear your answer to that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should get picked based on TikTok.
Or vibes.
Or vibe. Vibe.
Oh. Jimmy's looking at you in shock.
No, I'm not in shock. Just where are you going with this?
Yeah, well, a lot of the questions you've asked, I don't know where I'm going with my answers, but no, definitely not TikTok. But then it's a big part of our world now, so people are going to see people because of social media. I would like them to use the county championship a little bit more to pick the teams. But I'm happy with good vibes.
Yeah?
I'm quite happy with the good vibes.
Would you select on vibes? I would say Jacob Bethell was a vibe selection.
Yeah, he's a vibe
He's
selection.
good at cricket though, isn't he, as well? That's quite important. Jimmy?
Yeah, I agree.
You might not have got picked if we went off vibes.
Wow.
Shots
True.
fired.
Or TikTok.
Yeah.
They didn't have it in the 80s.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Basically, like
I think you've got to be careful because, like, there's a lot of good cricketers in county cricket, and some have been overlooked recently because they've gone down this certain route of, whatever they want, vibes or TikToks. But I just want to see the best players play in the team the way that they want to play. I want to see the best players for that, and I think they're actually not far off the best players for that.
We'll see. Can I just a little tip for 2026? The Roux brothers.
Where they're from, Matt? Your neck of the woods, are they?
Yeah.
They're from Somerset, but they're going to be doing bits. They're the future of Test cricket. You heard it here first. The Roux brothers.
Right, okay. So not only does Matchin have cricketing knowledge like that, like he would pick both the Roux, great shout Matchin, but he is also looking for a nose agent. So if anyone does know one of them, or indeed you are a nose agent, please get in touch at tailenders@bbc.co.uk or on socials. Use the hashtag, Jimmy.
Tailenders of the World United take over.
Thank you very much. We've got a visualised podcast, the last one of the series and the 5th test, and you can follow all the action, of course, on TMS and BBC Sounds. Please rate, review, subscribe and like, and tell your friends about Tailenders. Everyone's welcome. Merry Christmas. Go well.
Cheers.